will share, and we are certainly expecting some changes, and of course a cool down is part of that. As we get a look outside right now, take a look. Santa Monica, a little gray out there. You're seeing quite a few people out and about this Friday night, and of course temperatures quite mild. It was warm today, not quite as warm as yesterday, and eventually getting even cooler. Right now still very warm in Palmdale. You're at 84 degrees. Valencia, you're at 66. Over to San Pedro, you're at 64. In Laguna Beach, you're at 66 degrees this evening, so still quite mild. Earlier today we made it to about 77 in downtown. Average is 75, so we're still a few degrees above average, but as we head into the next few days, we're going to be a few degrees below average over the next 24 hours. 60s, mid 60s, and by the afternoon we're up to the low 70s, and we're actually expecting a little more cloud cover in the forecast tomorrow, especially along the coast. That marine layer is going to really start to increase over the next few days. The onshore flow is coming in and low pressure is coming our way. So with that, again, changes on the way. We're going to have the rest of your weekend forecast and your extended forecast into next week coming up. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Don't
So not funny. Not laughing.
Don't mess with Mama.
I know.
Yeah.
You never want to mess with Mama.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's actually a family of crows that just built this huge nest right outside of my living room. So I always wonder if they're going to dive bomb down. Wow. We've got the mom sitting out there. I mean, the nest is massive.
Really?
We've got the little babies. Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch.
That's really cool.
As long as they don't, you know, get in our way. We don't get in their way.
And vice versa. There you go.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Be careful.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are headed to the weekend.
Yes,
you know what
we
that means?
are.
TGIF. And you know what it means? The dance. No, I'm not going to.
You know,
They can't stand it when I do the dance.
the Friday dance.
The old Friday dance.
Friday
yes.
dance.
Especially Rick. He just cannot stand
He's
it.
just sitting over there
Just
saying,
don't
I
sing,
don't know
I'll be
these
okay.
girls. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. But yes, it is almost the weekend. You know, I woke up this morning and
I'm glad
I
you
thought
It's a
it
good
was,
start,
That's
by
a
the way.
great
Yeah.
start.
Always a
That's
good start.
Great start. But I thought it was Saturday for a good 10 minutes. I realized it was Friday.
Really?
Good thing I showed up today, right? Kidding. Of course, I realized it
I'm looking
eventually.
at her like,
It was just, you know, one of those days where it feels like a Saturday. It was just beautiful out, and it felt like a weekend, and it was just nice. And this weekend's going to be pretty nice, too. We're actually looking at a little bit of a cool down. I know a lot of you thought it was a little too hot out there, so it's good news because we are cooling it down. You're going to see a little bit of low cloud cover out there, a little bit of high cloud cover, but mainly that fog starting to roll in. We're looking at low pressure. It's heading our way, and with that, we're actually looking at a cooler forecast, especially as we head toward, well, the rest of the weekend and your Monday. We're cooling down. On top of that, we're introducing a little more cloud cover into the overnight and morning hours, especially along the coast, and we're also looking at, of course, a little bit of a warm-up next week. So what goes down must come up and vice versa. So as we head into next week, warmer temperatures for those of you that like the warmer weather. But until then, we are expecting a little more fog. 6:30, that's 6:30 tomorrow morning. We're looking at much foggier conditions, and that marine layer really starting to make a push inland, really sitting just west of the mountains right there by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, starting to mix out a little more so. And then by 12:30, much clearer conditions. And we are expecting, of course, more sunshine inland, less sunshine at the coast, and still looking at some patchy cloud cover along the coast by the late afternoon hour. But again, we are expecting a cloudier and, yes, a cooler forecast as well. Let's get a look at your extended forecast, and you're going to see that right here as we head into the basin in Orange County for the next few days, keeping low 70s intact. And then, well, by Wednesday, that's when we start to pump temperatures up just a little bit. So, of course, cooler, not cool by any stretch of imagination, but cooler compared to where we've been. For the coast, you're going to see upper 60s staying that way through at least your Monday, and then gradually warming things up just by a couple of degrees as we head into next week. And one more 5-day forecast for you. You're going to see a pretty similar pattern as we head into tomorrow. Well, a little cooler. Again, not cool. We're still in the 80s, but we were in the 90s earlier this week. So we're going down to the 80s, low 80s with more sunshine on Sunday, but then, well, pumping temperatures back up again as we head into Monday, back down Tuesday, and back up again by Wednesday. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Thanks.
And we're expecting a cool down in our forecast. We'll have the details in just a few minutes. Hopefully he'll share the wealth. I never did the coin thing. I collected rocks and stickers. You did? Nothing of value, really. I should have done the coin thing. It's never too late, though, right? All right, we're going to take you outside right now, and as we do, you're going to see a little bit of cloud cover making its way into our forecast. And, well, with that, we're going to see a little bit of a cooler weekend as we head into the next few days. Temperatures out there right now, well, right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City, we are currently at 64 degrees. There's that cloud cover. It's starting to hug the coast, and eventually it's going to make a push into our inland valleys potentially, and certainly looks like it's going to make its way into the basin into the overnight hours. 64 in downtown right now, 61 in Malibu, 64 in San Pedro. And earlier today, we made it to about 77. That was for downtown. Average is 75. So we were a few degrees above average, and well, tomorrow we're going to be a few degrees below average. Over the next 24 hours, 60s, mid 60s, and low 70s by the afternoon hours with a mix of clouds and sun. So downtown, you're getting up to 71 tomorrow. Anaheim 76, Riverside 84, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 81. So still a warm day, but much cooler than where we've been last couple of days. We've hit triple digits, lots of 90s inland. Won't be the case as we head into tomorrow. Remember, a little more cloud cover for you by tomorrow, and certainly a cooler forecast all around. Low pressure is starting to dip into the forecast, and that's really the culprit behind the cool down, bringing in cooler weather and, of course, the overnight morning low cloud cover. We will see more sunshine by the afternoon, but the coast probably expecting a little more cloud cover than everybody else, and we are bracing for a warm up as we head into next week. So let's get a look at that warm up and, of course, that cool down as well for the valleys in the Inland Empire. 80s for the next few days, and then we're getting up into the upper 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Things fluctuate a bit, but we're back up to sunshine and upper 80s by your Wednesday. Then as we get a look at the Basin in Orange County, you're going to see 70s and 70s turning to maybe mid 70s by your Wednesday. And finally, getting a look at one more 5-day forecast for you. You're going to see right here over the next couple of days, we're keeping things a little bit on the cooler side. And then as we head into, well, part of next week, we're warming it up just a bit, especially by your Wednesday. We're flirting with 70, expecting low cloud cover at the coast pretty much all week long with a little more clearing by the afternoon. So again, cooler for the next few days and then warming up after Tuesday, certainly by Wednesday. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Thank you.
There's an app for everything, and we're taking you outside right now to LAX, where we are dealing with increased cloud cover and a cooler weekend on tap. We'll have that full forecast coming right up.
And speaking of the beaches, I don't know if people really want to be headed. Is it going to be pretty sucked in?
It's going to be pretty
cool?
sucked in at this point. Yeah, it's already starting to get socked in at the coast, and then, well, it's going to get a little better by the afternoon hours. So good. There you go. So it depends on what you like. If you like that kind of cooler sort of, you know, cloudy beach weather, well, you got it this weekend. If you like the warmer stuff, well, we don't really have that at the beach, but our inland spots are still warm, even though it's cooler all around. As we take a look outside right now, Santa Monica, you're going to see cloud cover out there and starting to move into the coast. It's eventually can make its way to the basin and to some of your inland valleys as well. Temperatures quite mild outside. We were still warm today, not quite as warm as where we were, and we're going to continue to cool it down as low pressure starts to make its way into our forecast into Southern California over the next few days. So as we get a look at radar right now, you're going to see cloud cover along the coast. That's going to continue to be the case into the morning hours. By the afternoon, we will see some clearing, and you're going to see temperature-wise still pretty impressive for the high desert. Even through the Grapevine right there, we're in the upper 70s. Still flirting with 80. As we take you to the coast, already a bit cooler. Malibu at 60, San Pedro at 61, and downtown, you're at 63 degrees. Earlier today, we made it to 77. That was for downtown. Average is 75, so we were a couple degrees above average. By tomorrow, we're going to be, well, a few degrees below average. You'll see 60s turning to mid 60s, turning to, well, low 70s by the afternoon. Upper 60s for the coast. Santa Monica 67, Palmdale 93. So still warm for you, but if you recall, just the other day, we got up to 100 degrees, actually more, about 103 in the high desert. So we're a good 10 degrees cooler there. Not cool though. Riverside 84 and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 81 degrees by the time we hit tomorrow afternoon. So let's get a look at, well, your weather headlines. Low pressure is really the reason behind this cool down, starting to move into Southern California. And as a result, we're starting to see, well, cooler temperatures as we head to the next few days. So that cool down continues then. Well, we're still looking at overnight low clouds and fog in the forecast. And then by the afternoon, a little more sunshine, of course, still holding on to a bit of that cloud cover at the coast tomorrow. And we are warming up as we head into next week. So let's get a look at that extended forecast. And you're going to see right here that we are dealing with a bit of a, well, cool down followed by a warm up. We're going to see a mix of clouds and sun over the next few days, even into your inland spots. As we get a look at your next 5-day forecast, you're going to see a similar pattern where we're a bit cooler tomorrow, and then we're a bit warmer as we head into the later part of next week for the Basin in Orange County. Low 70s persisting through at least your Tuesday, then a little warmer as we head into your Wednesday. It looks like we have time for one more 5-day forecast, and we're going to take you there, and you're going to see, well, a little cooler over the next few days, followed by a little bit of a warm up at the coast. You're going to see upper 60s by the end of the week, still in the upper 60s, but we're a few degrees cooler at least through your Monday. Lena, back to you.
All right.